So let's begin in child's pose. So for today's practice, we're going to start with an invigorating practice to get warmed up. Let's see. And prepare our body for some balance inquiry. I know balance can be very challenging, and we'll talk about why that is and practice to strengthen our balance. So we'll be preparing for that. And in our warm-ups, we'll be doing some child's pose to down dog and then lifting our leg to warm up the hips for what's to come and warm up the body just overall. But if down dog doesn't feel comfortable for you, you could do the hip openers and the transitions from tabletop, puppy pose, or even standing using a chair or a wall as support for your wall dog. So please just, modify, suit the practice to what you're feeling today. Okay. So once again, beginning in the child's pose. Let's rise up into tabletop and make sure your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and you're in a nice, stable tabletop. We'll do some cat and cow, a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So on an inhale, send your tailbone to the sky, drop your belly, lift your heart and gaze. And then exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, drop the head. Now continue like that with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And you can go slow. You can extend these movements, or you can go faster. And again, if it's not feeling comfortable to be on your knees, you can do this seated in Sukhasana, the easy pose, or in a chair, and just take your spine into extension and then flexion. So one more. And exhale. Now come back to a neutral posture, so that your spine is not in flexion or extension. The belly's engaged. And bring your hands a little farther forward, like maybe one hand's distance forward. Then we'll go into our extension, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. You can curl your toes under here, because then for the flexion, for that, dog tilt, the cat back, you'll go back into sort of a puppy extended child, or you'll rise up into your dog pose. All right, and then we're going to continue like that. So inhale, come down to your table, lift your heart and gaze. Exhale, round and go into your child's, puppy, or dog pose. All right, and continue. Inhaling into the cat back, the dog tilt. Exhale into your cat back or your dog pose. And keep going and lengthen the breath, especially when you go back into the dog, puppy, or child. And then inhale, come down. Let's do two more like this. And last time. Now stay here in your dog, your puppy, wall dog, whatever you found yourself in. And you can pedal your feet, warming up the legs. Bring that movement to stillness. Keep your knees soft if you need to protect the hamstrings, and send your hips to the sky. Grounding the hands and letting the shoulders move down the back, away from your ears. Again, nice dog pose here. Let's take another breath or two. And we're going to lift a leg. So you can lift your right leg. And maybe open your hip or close your hip. And this could be done, I'm going to show it in tabletop. So I could be in my tabletop here, just raising and lowering a little bit. So I square my hip down and open it. If I'm in my dog pose, I'm lifting my leg and maybe opening my hip to the side. Just getting into our hips a little bit. Good. And now the next time you bring your hips towards square, bend the knee and add hip rotations. So add a nice big rotation. So your torso is square to the mat, whether your knee is down or your back leg is lifted. And you're finding the full rotation in your hip. And then go the other direction. And now hold that leg open to the side. Good. And then bring it back to neutral. Extend the leg. You're in your three-legged dog or three-legged table, and then float the foot to land between the hands. Good, so you're in your low lunge. Plant your back foot at a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to windmill open into warrior two pose. So you can use your hand on your thigh and windmill open into warrior two. Good. And breathe here. Settle into the posture, making sure the knee is over the ankle, drawing away. Both legs are active, belly's toned, arms are active, you're broad across your chest. So the last couple of weeks we worked on posture, finding the neutral pelvis, letting the shoulders move down the back, activating every part of our body in postures. So recall that. Recall that. Find your comfortable seat in this shape. And just breathe and settle in. So we're recalling what we've built in our practice, what we've learned in our body. We do forget about it, but we try to bring it back. We try to remember. And then lower the left hand to the left hamstring, right arm to sky, reverse your warrior. Maybe lunge a little deeper with the front leg. Breathe into your right lung. If you want, you can look up at your hand or down at your foot or forward. Find a drishti. Good. A focal point. The focal point is going to be critical to us when we explore balance, because the visual input really plays a lot into balance. So we'll explore what happens when we don't have it. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. And then come back up to warrior two. Go right into your side angle. So don't worry about how deep we go. You might want to have your forearm on your side. Spin your heart more towards the front side of your mat. And then maybe the arm is by the side, up to the sky or overhead line with your ear. You decide. And breathe here. Find your drishti, whether it's forward, down, or up. And keep spinning your heart open. Activating both legs. Finding this beautiful side angle in your body from your left foot to your left fingertips. Take one more breath. And then let's windmill our hands down to the earth, to the inside of your right foot. Pivot your feet so that you're in your side lunge. And that means the right foot kind of goes at a 45-degree angle. The left foot's maybe going straight. Good. Sink down to this side lunge, getting into some hip opening, strengthening your inner thighs. Really squeeze your legs together. Feel the adductor muscles working. Come back to center. Let's go to the other side. Same thing. Feel that squeezing. The groins are stretching and maybe get strengthening. Go down as deep as feels comfortable for you. Nice slow flow, just sinking into this. And then come back to center. You can straighten your legs, pivot your toes forward or turn them in, wide-legged forward fold. Shift your weight towards the balls of your feet here. Activate the legs, keep the belly toned. And then let's rise up halfway. Here's where you might want to use a block. We'll take a twist. And you can even keep your hands on your hips if you want. But I'd like us to get a little bit of a twist here. So ground your right hand into the earth or on your block. Turn your torso to the left, left hand on hip or up to sky. Take a few breaths here and find your drishti in this posture, whether it's down at your right hand, up to your left, or maybe you go between the 2 points to get some rotation in the neck, and then get to play with just changing your drishti. Good. Take one more breath. Lower that hand down, other side. Good. Looking down or looking up or holding. Bringing out the belly. Take one more breath. And then lower your right hand down if you lifted it. Bend the left knee. Walk both hands over to the left. You can go through a side lunge. Then you can pivot into your low lunge with your left foot going forward to that short side of the mat. The right heel is lifted. And we're going to go right back into our three-legged down dog. So go back to your three-legged down dog. Lower the foot, lower the knees, sit back to a child's pose for just a breath or two if you need a moment. Might feel nice to revisit child's pose. We're able to go a little deeper. And then we'll do that whole sequence on the other side. So take one more breath, and when you're ready, rise back up. Hands are a little in front of where your normal stance would be, so they're a little forward. Inhale, sits bones to sky, drop belly, lift gaze. Exhale, child's pose, puppy pose, dog pose. Your choice, yogi's choice. Continue like that a few more rounds. Inhale, dropping knees, dropping belly, lifting heart. Exhale into puppy or child's or something else. Maybe you're standing, that's okay. Or you're seated. Lower knees. 2 more times, extending your exhale when you're in that second posture, whatever that is. Deepening the extension, settling in. Good. Last time, down to the table with your dog tilt. And then exhale through the cat into puppy or down dog. Good, so you can always stay and do this leg part in tabletop. But if you're in your dog pose and you just want to give a little pedaling for another moment or two, you can do that. And then ground your hands, send your hips to the sky, tone your belly. Lift the left leg to the sky, keeping the torso square or the hips square down towards the mat. And then open up the hip to the left side, maybe lift that leg a little higher. You can do that a few times, squaring the hips, and then opening, and just see what that feels like. And last time, good. Nice. And then next time you square the hips, bend the knee, and open up the hip to the side, and then bring that knee forward and through the midline and back, and find your biggest hip rotations. Now again, if this is too much, too much strength to stay up and down dog and do this from tabletop. But find or standing, actually, then you'll challenge your balance before you get to balance. But find the biggest rotation in your hip socket. Find that full range of motion. Flowing with breath, and then bring that movement to stillness. Lift the leg, extend the leg, square your hips, and then come forward with your shoulders, round the spine, float the foot to land between the hands. Low lunge. Good job. Plant your back foot. Windmill open, warrior two. Settle in here. Let the shoulders go down the back. Sink deeper into your lunge. Scissor your legs toward each other. Tone the belly. Broad across the collarbones. Find a comfortable drishti. Lower your right hand to your right hamstring, left arm to sky. Maybe lunge a little deeper. Go back to your side, or come up toward warrior two, and then go to your side angle. Whatever that variation looks like for you today, honoring the shoulders. Spin your heart open. Activate both legs. Maybe find a drishti. One more breath. And then windmill your hands down to the earth. Side lunge again. Maybe over to the left first. Maybe you're going a little deeper. Explore if you have to lift the heel or can you keep it down. Just explore. Come to your practice every day with some inquiry. Come back up through center. Go to the other side. Just notice, how are you feeling in your body? Noticing the breath, how the mind's reacting. And then come back through center, back into our folds, or prasarita. You can draw your toes in and heels out, or keep your legs neutral. Let's take another twist. Left hand grounds, torso gets long, sort of parallel with the hips. So we find the rotation primarily from the belly, and breathe here. Maybe this time, let's look down at our left hand. Twist a little more. Oh, good. Keep looking down to the left hand. Twist a little more, and then look up towards your right hand. And deepen this twist, changing the drishti. And then lower the right hand down. Rotate your torso to the left. Your left hand could stay on your hip or go to the sky. And then finding the twist, tone your belly, look down at your right hand. Twist your torso a little more, but keep looking down. One more time. Look down, keep looking down, but twist your torso a little more. And then on your exhale, keep deepening the twist and look up towards your left hand. Hold this rotation for 1 or 2 more breaths. And then de-rotate, lower your hand to the earth. Back into our forward fold. Good. Good. You can take hold of your legs if you like. And then one breath here. Inhale, rising up halfway. You can walk your feet in. You can bring your hands on your hips and stand up, or you can step or hop your feet back to standing. Nice job. All right, so let's do that one more time, and we're just going to change the dog sequence a little tiny bit. All right, so when you're ready, we'll just come back down into our child's pose. And noticing how child is feeling each time. Now, for this variation, I'll spoil the surprise right away. We're gonna do our down dog with a figure 4 leg. So, you know, when our leg makes that figure 4 shape. So if you're not doing down dog because it doesn't feel like, you don't feel like having your head below your heart today, do it standing rather than coming from a kneeling position. Then it'll be a little bit easier transition for you when you go to the standing posture, which will have the same warrior flow. Okay, but we're just going to be doing a figure 4 leg to prepare for our balance. All right, so let's get into the hips again. So when you're ready, rise up into your tabletop or, come to standing. You can always do a standing cat pose or a dog tilt. Sorry, I keep talking about it backwards. Inhale, send your hips to the sky, drop the belly, lift the heart and gaze. Here's your extension, your dog tilt. Exhale into your tabletop or your down dog. 2 more. Lower down, table, drop belly, lifting heart, lifting hips. Exhale, dog pose. Again, doing this just standing if you want. You could even take a little bit of a Utkatasana leg, awkward chair leg, and do your cat-cow. Last time. In here into the dog tilt or the cow tilt. Exhale into taking the cat back into your dog or dog variation. And plant your hands, letting the shoulder blades move down the back, send your hips to the sky. Let's bend our knees. You can even lift the heels and bend the knees. So you're kind of like in this nice squat. And then you can lift your right leg up towards the sky and then bring it in, externally rotate the hip and bring your right ankle over the left knee. And that bent left knee gives it a little ledge. So you've got your figure 4 shape here. And breathe. Keep lifting the hips, feeling a nice stretch in the outer hip. A little change in our dog pose today. And breathe here. Take 1 more breath. And then from here, bring your left leg towards straighter. Sweep that right leg up towards the sky. You can lift it high to the sky and then bend the knee and float the foot to land between the hands. Plant your left foot at your 45-degree angle. Windmill open, warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Finding a comfortable drishti. Down at the back foot, forward, or up with your hand. Lunge a little deeper into this reverse or dancing warrior. Rise up, warrior 2, but transition right into your side angle. Spin your heart open to the sky, grounding into the back leg. Windmill your hands down to the earth, to the inside of the right foot. Pivot the right foot at a 45-degree angle, side lunge. Even add a little twist here by bringing the right arm against the right leg, sending the left arm to the sky. Keep lifting your heart, reaching, feeling that nice stretch in the groin, inner thighs. Lower your hand down, walk hands through the midline. Go side lunge to the left, so turn the left foot out at a 45-degree angle. Keep it high. If it's too much to go into deep knee flexion, this could be our side lunge here, right? A little bit like a side angle, but your foot's in a little slightly different position. You're probably feeling a little bit more on the inner thigh and in the groins. And then, if you can, you bring your hands on the blocks, the earth, can sink a little deeper. And then another variation is adding the twist. I'm reaching out to sort of a little bit of an angle, bringing my left arm against my left leg, and then I'm opening my torso towards the right, towards the sky. And breathe. Take 1 more breath. And then lower that hand down. Pivot to frame the left foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot, so you're back into your low lunge. Then we're going to send that leg back up to the sky. Go to dog pose. puppy pose or your wall dog, or even against a chair, lower down to tabletop. Inhale, go right into second side, taking the dog tilt, taking your extension. Exhale, puppy or dog. Take an extra breath cycle. Inhale, lowering back down, undulating your spine into the extension. Exhale, rounding the spine, lifting the hips into your flexion. Take an extra 2 breaths now. One more time. Inhale and lower down. Lifting up to that extension. Exhale, rounding and holding your dog. Settling in here for 2 breath cycles. Bending your knees, keeping your hips lifted. Send your left leg to the sky. Externally rotate the hip as you bend the knee and bring the ankle over the right knee. Bend the right knee if it kind of straightened a little bit. And find your figure 4 shape. Keep lifting and lengthening through your torso. So I'm really pressing my hips back, keeping my belly engaged. Take one more breath here. And send that leg back all the way up to the sky. Float the foot to land between the hands. Plant the right foot at a 45-degree angle and windmill open to warrior 2. Last time. Find your warrior 2. Lower right hand to right hamstring, left arm to sky. Maybe lunge a little deeper with the left leg. Keep both legs active though. Find your drishti. Windmill up through warrior 2. Fold into your side angle. Keep spinning your heart open. Windmill the right hand down. Last time, back into your side lunge. Come back up through center, over to the right. Side lunge to the right. Back through center, wide-legged forward folds. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, go a little deeper. Maybe taking hold of your legs this time, whether it's calves, ankles, big toes. Inhale and exhale, shifting the weight towards the balls of your feet. Hips are lifting to the sky, lengthening your torso in this forward fold. Taking one more breath. Next inhale, we'll rise up halfway. And now we want to come out of this again. So you can bring your hands on your hips and lift up. You can roll up. You can heel toe feet together or hop your feet together. However you're moved to come out of the posture, come back up to standing. Good job. Let's take a couple of breaths. Big inhale and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. One more time. And exhale super slow. Lower your arms. Lower your arms. Grounding that energy. Grounding the energy. Okay, so we went from a little bit of heat generating, a little activity, and now we're going to go right into deep focus. So, balance pose. It's challenging for us, you know, and because also I want us to notice like what senses we rely on in our balance pose, because it's a combination of things that affects how we do in balance. Like the vestibular system, that inner ear, which sends information to the brain for information about your balance, your proprioception, that awareness of your body in physical space, and your vision. So it's a combination of all three, and generally we might rely on one or another. And until you kind of like suss it out, it's hard to know which one you're most reliant on, which one you might want to practice and strengthen. So I've got a couple ideas of how we will maybe isolate, find where our challenges might be and where our strengths are, and then and just practice some balance, and we'll get to a challenging balance. So first, let's just start by finding. I'm going to go back a little bit. Oh, and I also want to say I'm in a perfect spot because look, I've got two walls. You might want to have two walls. You might want to have a chair by your side, on either side, just so you can reach out easily as we explore this. So first, let's connect our feet to the earth. So feet, hips, distance apart. You can shift your weight forward to back. Oh, you know what's helpful too, depending on how your ankles feel? I don't always do this, but this is a good one. It's just, I'm going to show you this, coming onto the top of your foot and just, having your ankle go in the opposite direction. It doesn't usually go this way. When we do vinyasas and we do up dog, down dog, we roll over the feet and it gives the ankle some opening, but we don't always do that. So that's good. Oh, and even in Virasana, when we're sitting on the ankles, it's helping. Right? So that might be a nice stretch if your feet are feeling tight, that you can just incorporate into your life, because it's a good one. It's counterpose. I always call it counterpose for walking around in the world. All right, so do that if you like, and then come back and find your Tadasana, connecting big toe mounds, pinky toe mounds, heels to the earth. Again, if it's helpful to awaken the feet, you can shift your weight around. And then really feel heavy through the lower body. Really root yourself down, tone your belly, lengthen through the crown of the head. So your chin is parallel, even if you want to do that little neck lengthening that we were working on in our posture, and then draw the bone that's right above our larynx, like draw that bone back. So your head is aligned, ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle are aligned. Joints are vertically aligned. Okay. And now, just for starters, let's explore the idea of our body moving in space, probably from that vestibular system, the inner ear thing, because a lot of us have maybe, feel dizzy from time to time, have a little vertigo symptoms. So stand in your Tadasana and just look slightly to the right, and then look over slightly to the left. And do it a couple times at whatever pace feels comfortable for you. If you feel dizzy, then, I don't know, go slower, or, adjust the pace, or maybe don't do it at all, right? If you feel dizzy today, then maybe some of this stuff is just going to be exacerbating for that, so you might not like this practice today. You could come back to the video another time. And then come back to center. All right. Now let's do something else. So let's raise our right hand with our thumb up to the sky. Now find that you're looking at your thumb, and then turn your head to the right, but keep looking at your thumb. And only go as far over as you don't have to strain to look at your thumb. And then come back to center and turn your head to the left. And then just do that maybe one more time. I feel a difference going to one side than the other. I don't know about you, but it feels a little weird, right? So this might be how our vestibular system comes into play for our balance. And then lower the hand down. We'll do that on the other side. And so start by turning your head to the left. Keep looking at your thumb. Keep looking at that drishti, and turn your head to the right. Only to the point you don't have to strain. And One more time. Okay, and then lower. All right, so now we'll try a simple balance before we get into more complicated balances. So just ground through the left leg, left leg. Don't let the hip pop out. If it does, like draw it in, really keep your body stable, vertically aligned, soften the right knee, and maybe even just come onto the toe. You don't have to lift the leg, but you can if you want to. You could have a hand on the wall or a hand on your hip. I'm gonna have a hand on my hip. On both hips. Let's try that. Finding, look forward, find just a spot straight ahead, and then stay in your balance pose and look over to a spot like towards the right. And if this practice is helpful, you could put a little tape on the wall or something that you have something to look at. And then come back to center and look to the left. Good. And back to center and look to the right. Back to center and look to the left. Now come back to center, stay here, keep your belly toned, close your eyes. Oh boy. And then lower your foot. And you can open your eyes. Notice how the balance changed when you took away the visual stimulation, the visual information. All right, so let's do that again. So from our Tadasana, put the weight into the right leg. Again, draw, really stabilize the hip. So keep that right hip from drawing out. Belly toned. Soften the left knee. Keep the toe on the earth. If this is enough of a challenge, that's okay. Keep that toe down or lift the leg up. And don't even worry about how high. We'll get to lift it higher later. Just a little lift. Chin parallel. Ear over shoulders. Draw that neck back. And slightly look to the left. And then back through center, look to the right. To center. To your left. To center. To your right. Come back to center. Find your balance. If you're wobbly, close your eyes. Breathe. Noticing the difference from side to side. So interesting, right? Let it be fun. Let this be a fun inquiry, learning, and keep your eyes closed. Lower the leg. Open your eyes. All right. Now let's try that one more time with our eyes closed. And we were in the posture, then we closed our eyes. So this time we're going to just explore closing our eyes and going into the posture. And then we'll challenge our balance a little further with a different balance sequence. So you can have your hands on the wall or hands on your hips. Once again, shift the weight to the left leg. Keep drawing that hip in, nice and stable, toned belly. Pick up the right leg a little bit so you're on your toe. A little bit more maybe, doesn't matter. Oh, sorry, I forgot. We're gonna close our eyes first, right? So yeah, so that's where we're going. Close your eyes, then go into that pose. Notice if there was a difference. Keep breathing. Notice if some tension's building from this posture, from balance in general, or maybe with the eyes closed, like the belly tenses, your jaw tenses, your chest, your breathing, just notice. And if that's happening, just relax. We're here, we're safe, we've got a wall to grab onto. And then lower your leg, even keep your eyes closed if you can. And then when you're ready, shift over to the other side. Keep the hip drawing in, your belly toned. And lift your leg. Strengthen those other two senses, the vestibular system, our proprioception, so that we can, because this might be like how it is walking around at night, right? When it's a little dark, or we don't have as much vision to help us. So we're strengthening the other two, those other two senses. And then when you're ready, lower down. And breathe and notice, take a few breaths. Okay, we have one more. And we'll do a variation of tree pose. So tree pose, you can take your leg in a figure four. So that's what we're gonna do today. And we'll build the tree pose. So let's see how we go. We'll start with putting our weight on the left leg without that hip drawing out. So draw that outer hip in, belly in. Externally rotate your right leg if you can and kind of come into a figure four. If you're able, you can hold your right foot in your left hand. So you've got this nice, figure four shape. You're balanced. You have that right hand on the wall or up to the sky. Let's try a combo. From here, let's look over to the right, slightly to the right. Come back to center with your drishti. Look slightly over to the left. Come back to center. If you want, close your eyes. And you can open your eyes. Let's stay here, but let's deepen this posture. If you need to come out, of course, come out, right? But let's deepen it and go into sort of our awkward chair pose. So bend the standing leg so that the right leg could rest on it. You could have a hand on the knee and a hand on the foot. You could bring your hands to prayer. You could even hinge forward and bring your elbow on your knee and the other elbow on the ankle. Now, those you've all practiced with me, I love to do single leg crow from here. So if you'd like to explore that, it's just a little fun. So you can come out anytime, right? You do not have to do this. You can let the elbows go in front of the shin so you can deepen it. You can stay here or you can lower your hands onto the mat. Bend your elbows so you make a little ledge for your right shin. Look forward, tone your belly, and pick up the left heel. If you come out of it like I just did, I lowered my leg down. And then when you're ready, lower your right foot down. Lower your left leg down. Back into a forward fold. Rise up halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees. Rise all the way up. And there we have it. So let's try that on the other side. Just noticing what we're noticing. Noticing if we rely more heavily on one of those systems or those senses. So interesting, right? So let's ground our right leg, keep the outer hip drawn in, bend the left knee, externally rotate the hip, right hand on the foot perhaps, and the left hand on the thigh, on the wall, or maybe up to the sky. And then from here, find your core engagement, that leg strength, the length in your torso, a fixed drishti straight out in front of you, and then slightly look to the left. Come back to center. Slightly look to the right. Come back to center. Close your eyes. Noticing the wobbles. And then let's open our eyes. You can come out of this if you want. If you want to deepen your tree variation, your vrikshasana, then bend the standing leg. Bring your hands onto wall, hips, knee and ankle, heart. So you can go a little deeper into your awkward chair. So you're sitting back towards your heels. Look down, make sure your knee is over the ankle. Maybe go a little deeper and let the ankle or the elbows rest on the knee and ankle. If you can bend your standing leg a little more, that's what's the challenging part here. Maybe bring the elbows in front of the shin. So then the foot hooks around your elbow. Maybe go all the way down onto your mat and explore your single leg crow. Okay, your elbows make a little ledge for the left shin. Foot wraps around the elbow. And we look forward and pick up the right foot. And whenever you're ready to come out of your posture into your forward fold. Rise up halfway. Exhale and fold. And we are going to come all the way down onto our mat. Maybe you can come into Virasana for a moment. And notice how you're feeling. Return to your breath. Do your little posture check. You don't want to forget about these things. Just because we focus on something, last week or the week before, doesn't mean it's done and over, right? We keep bringing it back. So maybe you'll tilt your pelvis forward, tilt your pelvis back. Find that neutral place of alignment. Ear, shoulder, hips. We'll stretch for the ankles. And when you're ready, let's come onto our backs for just a little abdominal work before closing. Okay, so we'll come onto our back in constructive rest. So make your way onto your back. Just want to do a little bit of a time check just to make sure. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So hopefully everyone feels good being on their back today. So we'll do our abdominals with an internal hip rotation. Since we did a lot of external, we will cross the right leg over the left. So this will be like eagle pose on our backs. And it's also really good to help us develop our eagle posture. You could just cross the knees, but maybe when you lift the left calf or the left leg, the right foot could wrap around the calf. And maybe you could do it here on the earth, and it's challenging for you to do it standing. So this shows us that we can indeed do it. So we just have to practice doing it when we balance, which is definitely harder. So then we'll bring our arms into our goalpost arms, bring them forward, right elbow under left, hands could rest on the shoulders, or you could wrap the forearms around. Inhale, and then let the back arch as you let your fingers and toes tap the earth. And on an exhale, press your low back to the earth. Bring elbows and knees together as you lift your head or your upper body. And then inhale and open. Tap the fingers and toes. Exhale, curl up. So it's like you're doing a crunch with your legs and arms and eagle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's try 4 more. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then let's unwind arms and legs. Take a moment, and we'll do that on the other side. So as you're ready, left leg over the right, maybe wrap the foot around, maybe not, doesn't matter. Do what feels comfortable for you. Arms in our goal pose, Devyasana, cactus, whatever we like to call it. Bring them together, right elbow inside the left, hands on shoulders or forearms wrap around. Might be different on this side. Inhale, arch the spine, and then exhale as you press your low back down. Lift elbows and knees together, head to knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch it up. Inhale, head, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. How about 4 more? And it's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then keep your legs crossed. Lower your torso, release your arms, and bring them out like a T. So the option will be to go into our knee down twist with our legs crossed. If it's too much, then uncross your legs by all means, okay? And then also to keep our spine aligned, let's send our hips just gently over to the left. Shoulders stay where they are. And then you can pick up the legs and let them roll to the right as you look to the left with your gaze. Now, we didn't do a whole lot of twisting today, so if this is too much, you can draw the knees away from the belly a little bit. You can uncross your legs or just even have the top leg over. So find your version of twist today. And breathe here. Noticing if the jaw's a little tight. Noticing if the tongue is on the roof of your mouth. Just notice how your physical body and how your mind respond to the postures. And then bring your gaze back to center. Bring your legs back to center. Unwind your legs and then bring your hips back to center. And just pause for a moment. Integrate. Notice. Before we go to the other side. All right, so now let's cross the right leg over the left. The foot can wrap around the calf or not, doesn't matter to you, see what feels comfortable. And then lift your hips over to the left to the right ever so slightly. Sorry, just to the right. And then lift the knees in towards the chest. Send legs to left, gaze to right. Take one more breath here. Bring your gaze back to center, your knees back to center. Unwrap your legs and bring your hips back to center. Take a moment and pause here. A couple full oxygenating breaths. And then bring one knee in, then the other knee in. Give your knees a squeeze. You can peel head to knees, knees to head. You can massage along the back body, or you can make your way by releasing one leg at a time into your Shavasana. Take a couple moments to transition in whatever way serves you right now. And then as you make your way to the final shape that you will carry into Shavasana, your relaxation, take a big inhale here and exhale it out with a sigh. Maybe release the jaw, the tongue, any tension in the belly, or just any last holding. Let it go. Practice becoming aware of that, where we tense up, where we restrict our energy. For these next few moments, we'll rest here in this final posture so that we can reset our nervous system, integrate the practice, and absorb the Shanti, the peace of yoga. Restore your natural balance. Seek healing, a refilling of energy and spirit as soon as you see that you need it. You don't have to push yourself to give, to do, to perform, when what your body, mind, and soul and emotions need is to heal. Seek and support your natural balance. Listen to your body, listen to your soul, and both will tell you what they need and when. If you aren't certain what you need, ask. Ask your body what you need. Ask your heart what to do next. Ask God and the universe to help. Find the balance that's right for you. Become sensitive to your needs. When you become stressed, depleted, out of sync, in need of healing, seek help immediately. Nurture and care for yourself until you're in balance once again. Inhale and receive. Exhale, give back. Your natural balance is as necessary as breathing. The inhaling is the breathing in of life's energy. The exhaling is the sharing of your resources. You wouldn't expect to exhale if you hadn't inhaled. So it goes with healing, with our life force, with our energy. You cannot give it out if you do not take it in. Find the balance of receiving and giving, of taking in energy and the giving out of energy that works for you. Let the balance become natural. See how much more you do and are. See how much better you feel when you keep your life force vital. So allow your breath to deepen. Bring movement to fingers and toes. Maybe you reach up through fingers and down through toes, taking a big stretch. You even give your legs another squeeze before rolling to right side, resting there for a moment or two. And when you're ready, you can use your top arm to help you rise up to a comfortable seat, aligning your spine vertically, drawing hands together at heart center, dropping your head into your heart. And then we'll lift our gaze and seal our practice with a gentle Om. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.